When it comes to your education, there's no need to settle. Get the interactive and purposeful education that you and employers demand from Colorado State University Global Campus. You'll get personalized, career-driven learning created and taught by today's industry leaders. CSU Global was built to help students succeed with affordability, flexibility, and individualized support. It's time to expect better. Find your path to the career you want at csuglobal.edu, where online education isn't another thing we do, it's all we do.
Blog Talk Radio.
Caution, the tea is hot. Blow it off first, okay? Dishing tea with Big Meech.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your crumpets together because it's time to dish the tea. And you're just darlings with Big Meech.
Can't wait. Time to dish tea with Big Meech. Time to dish tea with Big Meech. Time to dish tea with Big Meech. Time to dish tea with Big Meech.
Darling.
In the morning, when I rise, when I
there in Blog Talk Radio land, here in this country and across the globe. Hello to my friends in Germany and Italy and the Caribbean islands and all of those who are in the sound of my voice. You know what time it is. It's another glorious Wednesday, my tea sippers. Yes. And you know what time it is, honey. It's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat. And it's been an incredible 7 days since we've last been before one another. And I'm going to ask your forgiveness for me right now because this week here is going to be rather rough for me. Yesterday was my 1 year anniversary that I had the emergency surgery that had almost taken my life. And this coming Friday is the 1 year anniversary, or as my nieces, as my nephews were saying, this would be my brother's 1 year angel birthday. That I lost my brother, and I did not realize that it was going to hit me the way that it's hitting me. We've gotten through all of the other firsts, kind of cutely. His birthday month, October, was real sensitive for me. October was a mess for me. And now we are here, and it is really, 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 really rocking me, children. So I'm going to ask for your forgiveness because I may seem a little out of it or whatever, but the next 7 days between now and next week, when we come back, I'm going to ask that you hold my family up in your beautiful, beautiful, positive thoughts and keep us in. I've moved beyond saying keep us in your prayers. Keep us in your praise reports, because when praises go up, that the blessings fall and rain down. So let your praise report include that my family has the strength and endurance to get through this time. We've gotten through all the other ones, but this here, I think, after this time, we will be done with all of the firsts, and then, more of the healing process will take place, okay? Particularly for my sister-in-law, I'm asking that you go through and hold her up. This is very challenging for her, and, so I'm asking for that particular strength and to get us all through it, okay? And also, with, y'all know my situation, child. I done told y'all since I've been back on the air, 2013 was just my 9/11. Everything happened, that happened that year was basically to knock me either off my square and or to catapult me to the next level. And I've grown to say that I'm not starting over. Praise the Lord, we're not at that, where we're feeling like we're trying to survive. But where I am is that when you reach the top ladder or the top rung of one ladder, you become the automatic bottom rung of your new ladder where you have to climb. And so now I'm just at a place where I'm at a new level. And so we got to take that climb up that ladder to get to where I need to catapult to. So that there is where we are. And we're building, child. When I tell you it's a struggle, it is. But we are building. So if anybody asks, how are you, honey? I am moment to moment, day by day, living the way it's given, okay? So that there is where I am at this particular time. And I think, coming into all of this, I think today's show is going to be just cathartic for me because of my guest and what she's going to be talking about. But before I get into that, let me go here with a few special announcements, and that's words from our sponsors. With special announcements, honey, 5 more artists, Detroit, art, jazz, and theater. We are seeking featured poets for the Detroit Poetry Slam. Well, it's not a slam, but we're doing the Art of Poetry, okay, for 2014, and we're dropping Detroit Poetic Justice. That's what it is, Detroit Poetic Justice 2014, and they're looking for featured poets to come out and to be a part of the festivities. Your deadline for signing up for any of the events is March 1st. And we're going to be in 2 different locations performing between for every Saturday in the month of March. So March 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. So I want you to contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178. That's 248-688-5178. Or you can contact the host poet, John Trimble, at 313-808-2170. That's 313-808-2170. And we, like I said, we are looking for featured poets to come out and to express your talents and to recite your poetry, give dramatic presentation of your work at 5 More Artists Presents The Art of Poetry. Okay, so for more information, again, 248-688-5178 and 313-808-2170 for more information on how you can register. And again, that registration deadline is March 1st, 2014. Also, for those of you who are looking to get down to Orlando, Florida, if you are a man of size, same gender-loving man of size, and if you love a man of size, April 3rd through the 7th, 2014, will be Big Boy Pride down in Orlando, Florida. And I will go on the record. Y'all know I was saying before I was not going to tell you if I was coming or not, but circumstances has forced me to have to announce that I will not be there unless a miracle happens, okay? So I won't rule it out, but I thought if I didn't say anything about it, I would make it this time and this, that, and the other, and I had planned it. However, there are some things that had come up that has prevented me from doing so. So I'm going to encourage all of you who are going, honey, take pictures, make me jealous, because that's going to be a rough weekend for me, because this is going to be the 4th one that I have missed. And someone keeps telling me, well, maybe God is trying to tell you that this is not the activity for you to attend anymore. And I don't want to accept that just yet. However, we will definitely, we'll see. But for more information, BigBoyPride.com is the place to go, www.bigboypride.com. And right now, the host hotel, the Parliament House, is sold out. So everyone, if you're coming in now, you will be over at the Crown Hotel for reservations and things of that nature. So, honey, www.bigboypride.com. And we're also into late registration at this particular point, I do believe, which is $165. And that's just for registration. That does not include your room and does not include your travel and this, that, and the other. So I like to put that out there so folks don't think that this is what's going on, okay, that $165 is the only thing that you need. That's not it. So, again, go over to BigBoyPride.com for more information. And also, I'm throwing out there with you, my babies, we need to put $10,000 in the kitty. Y'all know I am working on my own production, No Time for the Pain, and I need your support in helping me make this thing make the dream that has now become my vision become a reality. So go to the website at www.dishingtea.com, and you can click on the Let's Dish Tea tab, and all of the information that you need there is about to play. We also have we have investment opportunities for you to partake, a whole festive package where if you want to advertise with us on television, print, and from radio, we have an exciting package there that's waiting for you that you can take either as a package or independently. So please go to www.dishingtea.com for more information on No Time for the Pain. So we can get this up and running. We're looking to do this for summer 2014, opening in Detroit, Michigan. So your love and support and helping me do this, honey, this is a 20-year-old dream, child, and it's about time for it to come to fruition. So I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate your support there. Also, my book, Awakenings, Epiphanies Along a Spiritual Journey, you can find that out there, too, at the website. And I'm currently working on my second book, Revelations, Affirmations, and Confirmations, and hopefully we're looking to have that ready by this summer as well. So keep your ears out for that. But everything you want to know about Dishing Tea with Big Meech is over there at the website at www.dishingtea.com. Or if you want to email me directly, email me at bigmeech, BIGMEACH, at dishingtea.com. That's DISHINGTEA, just like the drink, dishingtea.com. Okay? So having said all those particular things, honey, what I want to do is I'm going to take a small little break right now. Y'all know I have to do the opening comments and say hello and going on. And when I come back, we're going to get into this particular story. And like I say, probably, this falling into place right here is probably something probably do a lot more for me than what I've ever anticipated this was going to do. Call today's show, When All Else Fails, Just Stand. The Aleja Bennett Perspective. So my guest today is going to give us her perspective on what it means when all you can do is stand. So before I bring her in, let me take a little commercial break, and when I come back, the next voice you hear with mine will be of our guest today, Miss Alicia Bennett. So I will talk to you in just a few moments.
Welcome to In Spiritual, a place for spiritual evolution and transformation. In Spiritual is a space for you when you are ready to embark on an inward journey, a space to move beyond that which inspires you, a safe space for you to engage in a spiritual journey toward a deeper relationship with your authentic self and your higher power, however you call upon that power. A space where you can connect to your higher power in ways that facilitate your feeling safe, empowered, trusted, loved, and filled with possibility. A space in which you can claim the time to look within, connect to spirit, and bring the spirit within to the surface. For more information on how you can embark on your journey with us, contact us at www.inspiritual.biz. That's www.inspiritual.biz. In Spiritual, a place for spiritual evolution and transformation. The Big Brothers Network. Yeah, men of color, men of size. The Big Brothers Network was created to celebrate the larger man of color and those who admire him. We intend to promote a positive self-image within our community and the mainstream population. Our goal is to embrace our differences, to inspire self-love, and increase camaraderie through positive, brotherly interactions. We intend to accomplish these goals through the BBN magazine, local and national events, and networking forums. For more information or to catch the latest copy of the BBN magazine, please go to www.bigbrothersnetwork.com. That's www.bigbrothersnetwork.com. The Big Brothers Network. Men of color, men of size. the Caribbean American Boys Entertainment. We specialize in jerk and conch food catering, party promotions and emceeing, entertainment with the Caribbean swagger, island fever on the mainland, bam bam. We also provide customized tour guides through gay-friendly Bahamas to all the hot spots of dining and club life events. Mr. Silvano T. DeMarco is the founder and CEO of the CABC. For more information, please contact him at CaribbeanBoysATL@yahoo.com. That's Caribbean Boys with a Z, ATL, @yahoo.com, or on Facebook at Facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. That's Facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. Caribbean American Boys Entertainment. Island fever on the mainland. Bam, bam.
It's only me. I've come to see you, and I know what you've been through. I will be your friend. Leave me for now. Got to tell you back up somehow. And I've known I've been walking around. I'm tired of you putting yourself down. Cause in spite of all
And we are back. You know, I'm listening to that particular track, honey. I got to reload that. That thing sounds horrible. That's my mama, y'all. That's Miss Patty. But that particular track, I keep wondering how come I don't play this often. But it just reminded me. So somebody texted me, but like, okay, you know you got to change that track, honey, because it's a little too low. And it to me it sounds a little bit distorted, so I have to take it up out of there. So yeah, y'all know I'm real. Y'all know I'm real when it comes down to this stuff because I want to make sure that, you know, if it doesn't become dirty if I say it first. Ha ha ha. So y'all ain't gonna be trying to read me across the country, honey. You understand? Yeah. Hello over there in the tea room. I see guest number 916. Hey, darling. Thank you for coming on in. I'm about to introduce the other person here who is over there. Thank you, baby, for coming on in. That's cute that you are over here with us in the tea room. My guest for today is over there dishing tea in the tea room. So if you are listening by computer and you wish to join in, honey, please feel free. The tea room is open. You all know that, you know, I tell you, we are in the era where everything is written down and carried on. We have a brand new language. I like to call it textonics. And because of that, you know, a lot of times when we're reading everything, and I got used to our computers, our cell phones and things, and Kindles and all of that, sometimes you may think somebody is trying to come out of a bag on you, and that may not be the case. It's because we're not hearing the person and don't know their vocal inflections or whatever, and you know, we may not know what their intention is. So while you're over there, please dish your tea in there responsibly for me, please. Because if I come in and find you cutting up, I'm going to cut you out. Okay? And let me put my disclaimer here. Y'all know I have to do this little disclaimer, honey. Because, yeah, I have to. And, hold on. Yeah, here we go.
Dishing Tea with Big Meech is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that you hear on this program are not suitable for children or anyone who is not mature or responsible enough to handle the subject matters. So your listening discretion is advised.
Yes. Y'all, everybody who knows me knows, honey, I don't know what bag I'm coming out of. Just know I will be coming out of one. Okay? So right now, honey, child, please, in about, what, 7, in about 13 days, honey, from today, I will be 44 years old, or years young, years young. And, honey, whatever comes out of my mouth, honey, I've earned the right to everything that comes out of my mouth. So, honey, I don't know what bag I'm coming out of. Just know that I'm coming out of one. So if you have children or anyone around, now is the time to go put them into the other rooms, you know, to watch Dora or SpongeBob or Sesame Street or somebody's thing, because this is the time where the grown and sexy becomes the seasoned and sophisticated, okay? Because I'm not going to entertain anything any of you bitches bring to me while you bump into me at the Kroger, the Walmart, Walgreens, Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever. I'm not going to entertain anything if you did not govern yourself accordingly and do what you need to do to sustain yourself. So if you're at work, now is the time for your headphones and or turn your volume down to a respectful level, okay? So consider yourselves warned, and I need you to govern yourself accordingly. Thank you. Okay? So now, without any further ado, like I said, I've titled this show, When All Else Fails, Just Stand. The I'm tearing your name up, girl. The Aleja Bennett Perspective. Today we will be featuring someone who has taken a life full of adversity and made excellent strides to persevere and become the woman she is today. She has authored over 10 books that chronicle her story of abuse, alcoholism, pain, adoption, and mistreatment through her poetry and her uplifting words of inspiration and encouragement. Ms. Alicia Bennett will be dishing tea with us about how she overcame her tragic upbringings and how she uses her past to empower herself and others to reach out and to move forward along this thing we call life. So this is about to be a very uplifting pot of tea for you, okay? So without any further ado, let me welcome to the show. This is Miss Alicia Bennett. Hello there, my darling. How art thou?
Hello, Dennis. I'm listening to your show, and I'm flabbergasted.
Well, girl, I haven't done anything yet.
I'm really enjoying your perkiness. I'm enjoying your spunk. You know, that's what really keep the listeners interested in what, you know, you have to say or what I'm about to say. You know, your personality is just awesome.
Oh, well, bless you, sweetie. Thank you. Okay, didn't I tell y'all? Okay, that's really great. All right, that's a cute little thing to my little ego there. You know, that's cute. That's cute. I'm digging it. That's, you know, from the words of Patrick Swayze, her name is Vita Boel. And thanks to Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar, honey. That's healthy.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, okay, that's healthy. Okay.
Very much so.
So, you know, before we get started in anything, let me let the folks know this, and that is that you, too, are a Blog Talk Radio personality here. So, you know, we family, baby. We are family. And I know that you're going to be restructuring your show, getting back started on March 1st. So I want to just put that out there up front so that the folks know, honey, that family take care of family, honey, and we always support one another here. And so thank you for that, and I can't wait to hear your show coming back into the forefront and everything on what you're going to do with you and over there on your channel. So while we're talking about that, let's start with, of course, the basics so we get folks into understanding who Miss Alicia Bennett is, this author of all these 10, 112 books. Girl, I'm like, this child said she done authored these books, and you know I done sat down there and went back looking over your dossier. I said, wait a minute.
Oh, my God.
Okay, she just said, I'm working on book number 2. This heifer said she on number 12, child. I was like, well, excuse me. Well, go ahead, baby. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at all. So let's get the folks started with understanding who you are. So let's take this as your introduction.
Okay, well, I have to give you a correction. Today makes 13 books that was released, so go ahead, crack your joke.
No, you ain't nothing. Wait a minute, she gonna work me. I said, oh no, correction, darling. As of today, we now on 13. All right, then, heifer. Now you just did that for me, okay? Now you just worked me for that. But I'm excited at the same time. So we got a new book release today. Yes, we just put it up in the tea room. Oh, well, go ahead, baby. Go ahead with it.
You are special, Dennis, because you are the first to know. You are the first to know that it was just released on ebook, and in a few hours it should be released on paperback. So this is the first time it's being exposed to the public on your show.
Well, praise the Lord for exclusives, honey. I love to scoop the children, honey. I feel like Oprah and all them children. Yeah, I got the exclusive. Okay?
Yes.
Well, cute. But before we get into the new book, let's get into who you are. Let's start it off from the past, and then we're going to bring everything up to speed. So, yeah, start with your history, rather.
Okay, we're going to go back to when I was born, which was 1973. I was born in Elmhurst, New York, and it was the Elmhurst Hospital, to be exact, by my biological mother. I have never met my biological mother or father. They abandoned me at 6 months old, me and my siblings. So they walked out of the apartment and left us there. And I was 6 months old. And I suffered from pneumonia. I survived that. And in 1976, I was adopted by the Robbins family. And I was rejected by them. I was abused, tortured, starved. Similar to the Cinderella story, sitting on the floor, eating my meals on the floor. I don't. When I look back on my life and I see where God brought me from today, I'm just blessed. Because even though I got delivered from alcohol, and even though I've got delivered from the depression, when you go back there, you feel something. I'm not feeling like, oh, God, it's happening to me, oh, God. No, I don't feel like that today. But there was a time when I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe this. That's how bad it was. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they both had a hand in torturing me and abusing me. And, why adopt me? So these people knew that I was talented, I was smart, I was intelligent. They knew that I could sing. God gave me that gift. And when I was in school, my English teacher, she stated that, Aleja, you're going to be a writer someday. And I was like, what's this white woman talking about? I'm going to be a singer like Whitney Houston. I'm going to cut me some records,
Okay.
So, but when you're a teenager, you don't know, really, your purpose and where you're heading, especially if you're being abused, you feel like you don't have a purpose.
Right. Right.
You tend to feel like, okay, this is the way life is for me. I'm nothing. I'm worthless. I'm powerless. I'm no one. Nobody wants me. No one wants me around. So living that kind of life, and then by her telling me that, I didn't pay her any mind because it wasn't instilled in the home. Be all you can be. You're special. You're going to be someone. You're beautiful. That wasn't instilled in me in the home. So I grew up with low self-esteem, bitterness, depression, medication most of my life for depression. And when the medication didn't work, I started drinking. And drinking led me down to a road of destruction. I decided to. No one said, Aleja, go get help, because everything that I felt, everything that I hid was within me. People did not know. And I was going to try my best to keep this secret so the deacon and the deaconess of the Victory Missionary Baptist Church would not be embarrassed. So keeping this secret almost cost me my life, because I drank and drank. Sometimes I drank so much that I didn't even want the alcohol, but I forced it in my body. That's how crazy it was, the addiction became.
Wow.
And it got so bad to where I thought I was hiding stuff, and I would get a phone call the next day from someone at the bar, and they would say, you said you was abused as a child. I was like, no, I couldn't have said that. And she said, when you drink, you tell the truth. I was like, listen, I told a lie. I was never abused. My parents is from Macon, Georgia. They're in the church. I told a lie. And basically that's how I lived my life, trying to cover up, trying to cover up the things that they did was damaging to my soul, was damaging to my purpose in this life, was damaging to my spirit, was damaging to my mental and emotional state of mind.
Let me ask you this, because here's something that is paramount in personal development, and I'm going to say this because we always say low self-esteem, but I think at times, honey, we had no esteem, just none.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we've been robbed of what that's supposed to do for us. And even though we look for outside factors to bring us self-esteem, most of the time those outside factors don't point us in the direction to grow. So there's no esteem there. There's nothing there to get us up, to fortify us, to want to do anything better.
Yeah.
But here's the question. You said that these children were the deacon and the deaconess of the church.
Yeah.
How were you able to manage your a sense of belief and maintain a sense of faith in a higher power when everything that was demonstrated what a higher power was supposed to be was abusive to you?
Right. Me and God had a battle for most of my life.
Say that. Girl, wait.
Yes.
That is so real.
Yes.
That is so real.
I believe in honesty, so whatever you hear from me on your show is honesty. Everything in my books is honesty. So I believe from keeping stuff buried so long, I believe in just whatever I have to say, I just have to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So because I kept things boggled in for too long. But yes, me and God had beef.
Okay, right. Dig it. Shit, hey,
yes,
okay.
Yes. Wait, let me sip on some tea. I'm drinking some peppermint tea, so give me a minute.
Come on, baby. Aha! Okay,
right.
She's on peppermint tea. I got throat coat over here. I'm keeping my throat together.
So, my question was, God, I'm praying to you every day. You won't deliver me out of the hands of the Egyptians like you did the Israelites. Why do you have me? How do you love me? And this woman is taking a hot comb off the stove and dragging it through my scalp. And then if she sees a tear, she hits me in the center of my head with it. So how do you love me, God? Why? Why did I have to suffer as a child? Why did I have to suffer almost 40 years of my life? I had to come to grips with why people with purpose have to suffer, and that's why I wrote that book that was released today, because I had to suffer to be who I am today. Just like Jesus, when he walked the earth, they spit on him, they beat him, they nailed him to the cross. So when you have great purpose, when you have destiny, you are going to be abused, lied on, ridiculed, misunderstood, judged. So I was very angry with God. But being in the church, you see, what my abusers didn't know, that they set me up for a comeback.
Okay, okay.
They set me up for my purpose. And let me tell you how they did that. By them not living by the word of God, I was listening to the word of God, and not 100% of the things I lived by, but the majority of the things that the pastor preached growing up while I was being abused, I listened to it. And for some reason, wherever I went, it was forgiveness. It was always talking about kids being abused, and it was saying you have to forgive, you have to forgive. So that's why I was so loving to my adopted parents. That's why I was so forgiving, because, I was taught to forgive. I was taught to live by the word of God. But the church that I was raised in, they were just church goers. Because these people would see me come in with a swollen eye or bloody lip, or they would see my father punch me across my head for sitting with my cousins or talking in church. They would see these things, So most of these people are dead now, and then the people that's alive, they have apologized to me. But I was abused in the church, not just abused, but physically, emotionally, because she would tell them that I'm crazy, I'm retarded. Especially when I ran away from home. I started running away. I felt safer in the streets than staying home. I started running away at the age of 9 years old. So that's something big to say, that a child says she feels safer in the streets than at home. That's something big to say. So
okay, go ahead.
So while I was running away, they were forming they was forming whatever negative lies that they was forming about me. So I grew up as, oh, she's crazy, she's retarded, and her mother had a mental illness, and so the cousins didn't respect me. Oh, Alicia's crazy. And the way they used to say my name like it was garbage. Alicia? Who Alicia? Who Alicia? And some of those cousins are not alive today. They didn't live to see 38 or 40.
Wow.
You know, people that have hurt me, I had to watch them die. I had to watch my aunt die after she knew. I mean, I go right into her house at 16 when my father just beat me in the car with the golf clubs across my kneecaps. So I couldn't walk. When I came into her house, I fell right down to my knees.
Wow.
I begged this woman to keep me safe. I wanted her to keep me safe. And she died. She was no more here.
Wow. Wow.
It's deep.
Wow. Now here comes a question.
Okay.
With those formative years and dealing as a child coming into this, what was it that you think was your sustaining factor as a child? Because coming into understanding God was later, but as a child, what was it that kept you in that particular space to say, I know it's going to get greater later? Or was this just a childhood thing that was like, okay, I'm just a kid and it is what it is at this moment?
Yes. I'm just a kid. It is what it is at this moment, yes. And I feel that it's going to get better. They're going to love me. They're just angry right now.
They're just angry right now. So now, how did that experience shape your other experiences as you became a teenager, as you started to understand your body, as you started to become a woman? How did all of that shape you throughout the years? Because you said you had to deal with alcoholism and carrying on. How did that play out for you in becoming a social person amongst the rest of the world?
Okay, my social skills were very good, but I trusted everybody. You know, I trusted everybody. I trusted people that I shouldn't have trusted. I looked for love. My first kiss, you know, from just having my first kiss, I was open. And I was like, wow, this is nice. This feels nice. You know, so I was very sociable because you got to understand, I still was being someone that I wasn't. I had to hide everything. So my gifts that God gave me got me by. My singing voice got me by, singing in the church choir, being able to cry when the preacher preaches because I know I can't cry at home. So people would think I was crying because of what the preacher said. No, I was crying because of what I endured the night before, the hot combs dragging through my head. And then I was also crying because I know when I go home, if I've done anything wrong in church, it's on again. You know, so it was just a covered up life. So I was an obedient kid. I obeyed my parents. It wasn't like I caused them to this anger. I was obedient. You know, I lashed out in school. And the teachers, they was very patient with me because they saw potential. They saw purpose that I did not see until I became 25 years old. And I still didn't really see how great my purpose was until last year. And I'm almost 41.
Wow.
So do you see how the years went by, I survived it, I'm alive by the grace and mercy of God. Just like you just survived the 1-year anniversary of life, you are alive because of God's grace and mercy. And once we have survived these things, because I tell everybody, if you live to see 25 or 30, you have a story to tell. You have something to share with us. You have something to say.
Okay.
And if you're 40 and above, you got about 10 stories.
Right, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't you get me? Okay.
Because I already know.
Okay, now.
You know, because this joy that I have, this laughter that I have, the world did not give it to me. Because I know some people that's listening or will listen later on will say, how was she laughing? And she just said she had a hot comb dragging through her scalp. Because no one is abusing me today. That's why I can laugh. That's why I can rejoice. You know, but I had sociable skills intact. You know, because, you know, if I went to audition to be an actress, I believe that I would get the role. Because I acted all my life. You know what I mean?
Okay, now see, let's go there. Hold on, 313-516. I'm going to come to you in just a few minutes, baby. I see your hand up. Let me go here. Because, see, what you're touching on, in the earlier days of my life, you know, it wasn't as tumultuous as that for me. It was in some regards because of how my parents were interacting with one another. My father was alcoholic, and he was cross-addicted with drugs. I didn't know that at that time. I knew about weed, but I didn't know there was other things involved until later on in life as I was listening to my mother talk. But looking at how they fought, he was very abusive with her, you know, and, you know, we 70s babies, honey, so we come up in that era of, you don't put your business out in the street, honey. When we walked outside that door, everything was picture perfect, child. You know, we were the perfect family. You know, at that time, see, and I'm the firstborn of 4. So, you know, it was just that, mother, father, eldest child, second eldest, the 2 babies, because my sisters are identical twins. So, you know, you got the twin thing going, oh, look at the twins. You know, we had all of that.
Cute.
You know, you know, you know, damn near a Miss Millie moment, you know, from the color. Oh, your kids so nice and so clean. You know, one of those kind of moments.
But inside the house, it was you told.
But when we got back, exactly, because a lot of my schooling, you know, I'm a decently intelligent person, but a lot of what I brought home, I made sure that I did my part to keep the good grades coming in because it kept peace at the house. You know, as long as they were laughing and they were happy, you know, I thought I was doing my part. And then, you know, I wasn't the most masculine of children, so my father had issues with that because my mother, you know, she teaching me life skills, you know, how to cook, how to clean, and this, that, and the other. As I said, I helped her raise my siblings, so my daddy thought that was women's work. You know, what you got my son sitting up here doing it, you don't turn him into no damn faggot, and it was one of those kinds, oh, God. You know, so for the first 8 years of my life is what I endured with that. So in understanding, you know, that whole tumultuous thing, I knew what that was to be the actor. You know, oh, everything is fine, but, you know, I have one of those faces to where my face tells everything. So my question to you becomes, in those acting years and in that perfecting this look, how were you able to rectify that child in you who became the immaculate actress to that adult that was like, okay, I've got to tell this truth and I don't know where to start? How did the adult you talk to that little girl you and make peace with yourself?
Well, basically, I lived a life of fear. So I didn't know when I was going to get hit. Sometimes it would just come out of the woodworks. The belt would hit against the wall, and then I know it was time for a beating. It was like a crazy signal they would give me before they beat me. So fear kept me in line. Fear kept me from crying. Fear kept me from telling anyone. I think I started to share some of my pain with certain people in that family, especially when the burns to my scalp. Like I had scabs in my head every Sunday. So I did start to tell people. I told a cousin and I told her aunt, and my aunt said that she's dead now. Her name was Aunt Tani, and she said that she was going to help me, but she didn't. So that right there made me feel like, oh, God, I can't trust nobody. And if my adopted parents find out that I told anybody, they're going to kill me. You know, because one day when my adopted mother found out that I told the cousin, you know, I was in her way, and she put her foot on my neck, and I thought, and this woman has a size 11.5 shoe, and I'm skin and bones. You know, and she put her foot on my neck. Like, I said, this is it, God. I was a humble kid. I was just basically waiting for the day that she or he was going to kill me, basically.
Wow.
So I lived a life of fear. I lived a life of not knowing, would this night be over for my life? And God gave me a sense of humor, so I cracked jokes in the fear. I cracked jokes in the abuse. The sense of humor gave me life. You know, even though my cousins was jealous of my voice and they didn't really like me, when I cracked a joke, they all laughed. And I found laughter helped me. It helped some of the scars. You know, I mean, to this day, I have to look at the bruises on my hand and on my face from 6-year-old beatings. You know, so I lived a life of fear. You know, and still to this day, well, since God delivered me, I haven't had any flashbacks of childhood. Thank God, that's gone. You know, but the flashbacks when I got older as an adult, not too far, you know, from here, would come, especially when I was in the psychiatric ward of Jamaica Hospital. And the last suicide attempt I made was, you're not going to believe this, get ready for this one, last June was the last suicide attempt I made on my life. Because not only did my adopted parents abuse me, everything was stolen from me. My 3 kids were snatched right underneath me. So it goes far beyond the abuse. After the abuse, people just stuck the knife deeper and deeper. They said, oh, her mother and father is a deacon. Her mother is a deaconess. She's lying. She wasn't abused. Look how nice those people dress. She got her own room, living in the projects, living it up. Well, yeah, we lived nice, living it up in the projects of East New York, Brooklyn.
Okay,
you know,
interesting.
Yes, and the woman that manipulated my kids when I got in trouble, she kept them. She made them stay with her, and they give her like $1,600 a month, so most of that goes up her nose, and I couldn't prove that this woman was a drug addict. So to this day, she has my 10-year-old son. My 18-year-old, I have a relationship with her, and my 21-year-old just came back in my life, I would say 48 hours ago.
Whoa.
So it's more than just the abuse. It's life. I'm going to have to write another book called Life After Abuse. I mean, people really tried to take me out of here. People really tried to take me out of here. I told my 21-year-old, I said, do you know you almost cost me my life? Do you know what you did to me almost cost me my life? Y'all kids turning your backs on me. Y'all looking at me as if, oh, mommy is a victim. Mommy's an alcoholic. I never abused my kids. I loved those kids till I couldn't love them no more. But when people see a situation and when they see you don't have no family, you are in a world, a cold, cruel world, all by yourself if you are not wrapped up and tied up in God. So at the time, I wasn't wrapped up and tied up in God. I was wrapped up and tied up in worldly people that did the best they could do to destroy me.
Okay, let me go here. Let me take. I'm gonna let this person come on in here with this question because I got a feeling they finna ready to say something profound. 313-516. I'm coming to you right now. You're on the air. Dishing Tea with Big Meech to say hello to Alicia Bennett. Hello.
Well, hello. This is Barbara calling, and I'm here in Detroit listening to your story. And oh my God, it's horrible, and I feel so bad for everything that you have been through in your whole life. The sad part is that it's also a very common story. You hear about so much hidden abuse for so many years. Like my favorite channel now is the ID channel. And all you hear about is stuff that happened a long time ago where nobody said anything. And we got all these rappers and basketball players out here doing all these different things. I wish they could come up with a song or something that says, "Tell, go to the hospital," because a doctor knows that you're not supposed to be 7 years old with a broken hymen, and they have to report this stuff to the police, to where we can get some help. But my question to you is, do you think because of all of this abuse that you went through that it made you a very passive woman now that you're at the age of 40?
Good question.
Because you're definitely a survivor.
Yes, I would say, well, my life has been changing, from the age of 25 till now. So what I can say is that I never was in an physical abusive relationship with a man. I will say that the abuse stopped from my adopted parents. I never let no one abuse me outside of that, but people have abused me mentally, emotionally. You know what I mean? And sometimes and often that mental and verbal abuse lasts longer than the hit, because the hit will eventually, that scar will close up, it'll heal. But the things people say out of their mouth, that's why I'm so careful about the things I say to people, because you don't know how that can affect them. You could say the wrong thing to a person, and they will go get a gun and blow their brains out. So I've been very overprotective of my life. I've been very overprotective of my kids' life, because I don't want none of them to wind up in any kind of abusive relationship.
Yeah, and one more quick question for you. And did you ever get any type of understanding why your adoptive parents was like that, or did they do it just because they could?
It's a couple of reasons why they did it. One, my adopted mother she was barren. She was born barren. She can't produce any children at all.
Oh, so she was angry about that.
So she was very angry because she was born in Macon, Georgia. So she had a big family. Everybody was producing children except her. So she adopted me for the wrong reasons. She didn't adopt me to love me. She adopted me to show them, look, I got a child.
Like a mommy dearest type thing.
Right.
Good, because I was going to make that reference later, but I'm glad you said that.
It's very common. Anybody can have a baby, but they don't. There's no instructions, on what to do and how to do it. You know what I mean? So it's very easy. If you're, like you said, if you're not wrapped in God, it's very easy to become an abuser, especially when you know someone will do anything for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I just want to congratulate you. And in a way, I'm almost thankful, because if it wasn't for your horrible upbringing, then you wouldn't be able to help other people that's going through the same thing. You know, I always say that there's a reason for everything. And the only thing that'll really drive you crazy is if you try to figure out what God is doing.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, why did you put me through this? Why is it me? Why am I going through this? Why? You know, and that's where a lot of people make their mistakes at, because I've done the same thing. Unfortunately, my obsession is so, you know, and it's just really, really crazy, you know, how we turn on God.
Yes.
You know, when stuff is going bad in our lives, when he's really doing something for us, because you could have easily crumbled. And you could have let your kids just become whatever, and you didn't. You are still fighting, and that's the good part about it.
Yes, thank God. Thank God.
So I would definitely be looking you up and getting that book, because I need help myself. Trust me.
We all do, sweetie. And that there is what is what the T is with this. Let me go here with this particular question, because as we're putting all this together and you were coming into understanding some of the history of your parents, when you wrote your first book, what led you to write the first book? Because, see, what I'm hearing in your story is a combination of, like we were saying, the whole mommy dearest kind of thing. You know, we talk about the acting. So here you are. Your life has become a series of movies. You got Mommy Dearest. I'm hearing Sybil, how Sybil was abused and things, and how she ended up having multiple personalities and just split. You know, I'm also hearing, you know, Maya Angelou. You know, I know why the caged bird sings, because of the abuse that she went through. She just stopped talking. You know, because she didn't have a voice. And then so she took to pen and decided to write, because she was able to learn that words had become, you know, her weapon of choice, and how she was able to express herself. So in that, how was that for you when you first picked up a pen and said that, okay, this is going to become a book, and this is going to be poetry, this is going to, I can express myself through this. What was that transition for you?
Okay. After the English teacher said that I was going to be a writer, I decided to take 2 years, the last 2 years of the school. They loved me, so I was able to get extra time, and I started to write everything down from what I remembered 5 years old. I think I could remember back from 5 and 6 years old, right? So I just started to type everything on a computer, just write everything out. And when it was time for graduation, I didn't even title the book yet. You know, my goal was to hide it, because I knew once I go home and when I get in the tub, they're in my room. They're in my room looking through my drawer, looking in my bag. That's the way they was. So I said, okay, I'm going to bring the book home. I went in the tub. I got out the tub. The book was gone. I slept with one eye open. You know, I mean, I knew that I shouldn't have brought the book home. I should have took it upstairs to my best friend Karen's house. You know, but I just wanted to keep it with me for a little longer, and I knew, you know. So I slept with one eye open. These people never beat me for that. That's one time I never got a beating. They never mentioned that book, so I would say they destroyed it, because one of them couldn't read. My adoptive mother, was it her? Yeah, she can't read. So I guess my adoptive father was reading it and had to tell her, oh, this is about us. So they probably felt some kind of way, wow, you know, she wrote all of this that we did. So they didn't have nothing to say, so they got rid of the book. They never mentioned it to this day. So I was scared, and I never wrote anything else again until the age of 25. until the age of 25, a friend of mine from the West Indies, Jamaica, she took me to a AA meeting, and I was given a keychain, and it was like a yellow keychain, a green one, and a red one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the keychain said, "Being alive." And let me tell you something, Dennis. From that day, I never put a pen down since, and I'm almost 41. I have never put a pen down since. For the past 2 nights, I was writing this book, this new release that's coming out a little later on paperback. So I have not put a pen down. And yes, when I started to write again at the age of 25, the answer to your question, yes, it was poetry.
Mm-hmm.
It was poetry because I didn't feel comfortable anymore writing down what happened. I felt safe in the poetry. I wrote the abuse in the poetry. I wrote the feelings of my mind in the poetry. I wrote things in my poetry that I couldn't express to a man. You know, it was very hard to express myself. The way I speak today, that's only God. Because through the years, it was hard for me to express myself because it was like, shut up, sit in a corner, sit on the floor, shut up. You better not say another word. You better not say another word.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a lot of us in the 70s, I think you can relate to that as well, Dennis, that it was like that. Be quiet. Whatever goes on in this house, you better not tell no one.
Yes, Lord.
You know, so that's the way it was. But, yes, it was poetry. It was the first poem, Being Alive. To me, being alive, you can accomplish a lot. And no one can tell you that you cannot. Being alive, you can be whatever you want to be. It's all up to you. Once you decide, you will see. You will make mistakes. This you will do. But when you learn from it, you can start anew. Being alive all starts from being a baby. And when we grow up, we'll be a man or a lady. Some of us have been abused, used by people that are cruel. They think we're some kind of silly fool. But I don't know the rest of it, but that's just, you know, that's just the beginning of it. And that was the first poem. But I never forgot all of that. But it's like some other stuff at the end. But, you know, that was the first poem. And then if you listen to it, what is it saying to you, what I just said? Like, if you really listen to it, because it doesn't say anything about abuse there. Oh,
okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, it does. It says some of us have been abused, even used by people that are cruel. But basically the message was, maybe it was a message for me. You know, being alive, what does that say to you, being alive? What does it really say to me at that moment?
Mm-hmm.
Did I really know the worth of my life? Did I know my purpose? No. When I wrote that poem, no, I didn't know my purpose. All I know is that I was addicted to the pen. I was writing on a bus. I was writing on a train. I was asking strangers for paper and pen, and no one ever denied me for a piece of paper and a pen. No one ever said nothing negative. They gave it to me, and wherever I went, wherever I was writing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's why there's so many books because that's where all the emotion is. That's where all the feeling is. That's where all the pain. That's where all the joy. That's where all the love I carried. You know, for every man I was with, romance, the feelings, the touch of a man, the sexual what's that word I'm trying to get? The satisfaction of being with a man sexually. You know, everything is in my poetry books, how I felt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
I had a problem with expression for a long time.
Okay. Let me go here because, see, I'm looking at some of the titles of your books. 40 Ways to Please a Good Man and 40 Ways to Please a Good Woman. And I know that 40 Ways to Please a Good Man is for you. There's a subtitle for women over 40, and 40 Ways to Please a Good Woman. All that I can do is stand. All that I could do is stand. Part 2. You know, all of these particular titles, what was each particular book, of course, tells its own story. So for you to go into that particular space, was there a time where you realized that when you started having children and became intimate with men, that your parents were jealous of that? Did you find that your mom was jealous of that particular aspect? Was that part of the catalyst of them taking your children from you? What was that particular transition, or how did all that come into being a book and understanding, as you were putting this to pen, how I can now become expressive with what it is that I'm feeling?
Okay, my adopted mother, she couldn't stand to see me pregnant. She didn't like to look at my stomach. I kept a relationship with her. Why? Because they were all I knew, and I just assumed that, wow, I'm having kids now, maybe she will love me now. But she didn't, and she didn't love my kids. She ignored my kids, and to this day she still doesn't acknowledge my kids. And my kids are well loved by so many people. Well-mannered, obedient kids, good kids. You know, and I'm not just saying that because they're my kids, but they are very obedient. I instilled that in all of them. I raised them for a lot of years of their life, so I instilled obedience in them. I told them, you respect your elders, you know, and I said, you honor your mother and your father, that your days be long upon the land, you know. So every book, 40 Ways to Please a Good Man, that has been updated because some people that wasn't 40 didn't want to read the book. So, and actually, 40 Ways to Please a Good Man was written June of last year, right before I turned 40, July 9th last year. So it was like a birthday gift for me, because it was like, Aleja, you've been giving your readers so much of you. Like, write a book for you. You know? So that's why I had the little corny birthday cake on it. You know, the old covers looked real corny, and nobody ever said, Aleja, fix the cover. I mean, I'm a writer. I'm not an artist. I don't draw. I'm keeping it real. I could barely write a circle. You don't want me to draw a circle. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I stick to paper and pen. I stick to what I know. I stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? And some people felt that they couldn't tell me because I've been through so much. Let me tell you something. I have tough skin. There's nothing that you can't say to me that can break me that easily. You can say anything to me. I can take criticism. And as soon as I found out, my daughter said, Mom, no, that those book covers are corny, I immediately changed them. And now when you look at those covers, it really tells you about the books.
Okay.
You know, but 40 Ways to Please a Good Man is now for all ages. It's not, I took that off, you know, even though, you know, that was really a gift to me. But, you know, when someone says, I want this, and it's their money, they're buying it, I change it.
Okay. All right.
So 40 Ways to Please a Good Woman is the same as that one, because someone on Facebook wrote me a message, and they said, well, I would like to know how to please a woman. I was cracking up. But, I mean, now that I think about it, there are some people that really don't know how to sustain a relationship. That's why people go from relationship to relationship. They really don't know how to stay in one, and it's so many things to do in a relationship. It's probably more than 40 ways.
Well, one of the things that I believe gets in the way of relationships, and this is both platonic and romantic, and that is folks are not looking to do the work required.
Yes,
folks are not looking to accept their responsibility in it. You know, I constantly have to challenge myself because I know I can be very controlling. As I said, I've been raising kids all of my life. So, you know, that's been infused in me, you know, from such when I was still in single-digit ages. So all of my life coming up, all I know is, you know, how to take someone and to shape and to mold them. So if you're not doing what I say do, it could be a problem for me. You know, not necessarily that I have the right answers, but at least listen to me. And if I got to tell you more than once, then fuck it. You know, I don't need it. I'll have to do it myself because, see, I don't need to micromanage you. And that doesn't work in a relationship, okay? Or, you know, so in that I have to put myself in check and carrying on. And a lot of folks don't want to do the work, especially now in this day and age where everything is so selfish. It's all about what you can do for me, what you can do for me, what you can do for me, what you can do for me. The take. And no one is willing to give. And those who, well, I won't say no one's willing to give. It's just that the takers are there to take. The givers are there, and they become depleted. And once they are depleted, they don't know how to regain themselves, and so you end up finding that balance, and they're off balance rather, and so we end up having that void there to where everybody's looking for love because nobody recognizes it when they see it.
That's so true.
Because a lot of us have never been taught how love starts with ourselves. We've been told it. We've been told that over the years. Okay. Over the years, we've been told that. You got to learn how to love yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. Okay. But no one actually knows or understands what that means. And when we start to exercise that, then you got the church telling us we have no business being selfish. See, remember how we were kids, you had your toys, and they made you share your toys, especially your favorite toy with folks who came. You better share. You better learn how to share. No, you don't do that. That's not nice. Well, no, I don't want to share this toy. This one is mine. He played with the other damn toy. Now we going to share the other one. This is my special one. You don't get the special one unless I say you can, because there was something there to say, oh, you get to play with the special one. Ain't that what we do? My body is special to me. Ain't that what you said about good touch, bad touch? You don't let nobody touch you where your bikini line is. When you put your bathing suit on, everything that your bathing suit covers, you do not let nobody touch you there.
That's right.
And then when you get older, then you understood the difference between the touch. When I say you can touch me there, okay, you get an invite. So we all have mixed messages, you know, and don't know how to filter through them. And I think I've said all that to get to this particular question. Having gone through what you've been through, what kind of parent were you? What was it that you found yourself doing that was different? And what did you find yourself doing that was similar that you learned how to correct?
I wasn't strict enough with my kids. I never wanted to hurt them. I never wanted them to go through what I went through, and I was carrying a lot of pain. I was giving birth to kids because I wanted something to love. So I automatically knew my mother instinct. I'm a lover. So that's just a part of me. I know how to love. So even though I wasn't given love, I gave all the love that I wasn't given as a child, and I gave it to my kids. I let them sleep in a bed with me. I let them do everything that I never, ever could do or never, ever did. So they ran all over me, basically. And when I drank, I gave them everything I had. They love to see me drink because they know they could dig in my pockets. There's nothing that I won't give them. I'll get dressed and take them to Pickens Avenue. I'll take them wherever. And then the next day I'm sitting there broke. And I'm like, wow, you gotta stop drinking because, you know, I was that type of person with my kids. You know, I love to drink. I drank in the daytime. I drank all day. I didn't neglect them. The place stayed clean. I was a functional alcoholic. You know, so basically I was a functional alcoholic, but I was raising kids in pain, you know. And if somebody, if I would have known to just go get help before I had kids, if I didn't start looking for love in all the wrong places, meeting the wrong men, not getting to know them, you know, I married a drug addict. Didn't know his whole family was on drugs. You know, didn't know he couldn't keep a job. You know, I've had some of the worst be with me. You know, and still to this day, this marriage that I put myself into at 22 or 21 years of age, no, 22 or 23 I got married. No, I got married in 1994, October 8th, and Althea was born March 27th, 1995. So I stayed in this marriage because I wanted to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I basically would I just wanted to be loved. I don't really know else how to explain it. Like, I just settled for whatever I could settle for because I felt like this. If he ain't hitting me, he ain't abusing me, I'm all good. That's how I lived my life. They could rob me, they could steal from me, they did it all, but they didn't put their hands on me. So I was able to live a life free of abuse.
So you thought, right.
So I thought, right. But I was being abused mentally and emotionally because I allowed people to hurt me in other ways, but I wouldn't take somebody putting their hands on me because I was a fighter. So, you know, I learned after 16 years old, you know, I put my adopted mother went to hit me, and, you know, I was 16 at the time, so I got tired of this woman hitting me, so I put my hand up to stop her. And then that's when my adopted father said, oh, she's 16 now, I'm going to show her something. So he went in the trunk and got the golf clubs and, you know, strike me on my knee so I couldn't walk. But anyway, yes, having the kids, you know, was the best thing in my life. Like, I loved them. They were so sweet. They were so precious. But there were 3 kids by 3 different fathers. So we're talking about 3 kids with 3 different personalities.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, 3 kids that were not acknowledged by my adopted parents. 3 kids that were a little rejected behind that. You know, I had nothing to offer them. I didn't have a family that paid them any attention. So I think, you know, to get back at me for that, they chose to live in these places. You know, they chose to live with people that they have no business living with. But now that they're older, you know, they have said, Mom, I'm sorry, boom, 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 boom. You know, because I live in a nice neighborhood. I live in Richmond Hill, Queens. I moved here 11 years ago. So my kids said there's no black people in the neighborhood, so they want to live in the projects with my ex-husband's crackhead sister.
Because that's all they know, right.
Because
trying to keep it real.
That's all they know. But my life here was boring for them because the kids, you know, over here, they're well-mannered. These Indian kids, they don't stay out all night. You know, they're in the house by 7 o'clock on a school day or maybe before that.
Right.
So my kids had a problem with that. So my son and my baby daughter was like, Ma, this is our choice. We want to live here. Oh, my God, Dennis, I can't tell you the pain I felt when these kids told me that after all the love, give me my money back.
Right, okay. Okay, now how about that? You know,
give me my money back, please, for everything I bought y'all, for every bottle of liquor that I couldn't buy, for taking care of you. Give me my money back.
Right, okay, and now that's real talk. Let's go here because, see, I want to go because I know that you've gone into seminary school and you're studying, you know, to become a minister and this, that, and the other, and that you also are in a place of being a motivational speaker and that you're using the books as a platform to encourage people. Coming from those beginnings as a mom, you know, dealing with the realness of, okay, the idea that I had you so that I could have someone to love. And then after showing you all this love, you just threw this shit up in my face and said, you don't love me because you choose to go into ugliness and an unloving environment. You said you choose that. So, in essence, you chose not to love me.
Yes.
So how is it that you take that message? What did you learn from that? And then what are you teaching other people as you are now taking this platform of saying, let me use my life as a place for healing and to teach folks and to empower folks how to come out of their situations?
For one, I keep my body to myself. I don't give it away until God sends that hand-picked man that he has for me. I don't have to worry about getting pregnant. That's one.
Okay. Okay.
You know, because I had kids when I shouldn't have had them because mentally and emotionally I wasn't ready for them. So, you know, I believe, you know, what they did almost took my life. So basically, I would just tell people, if you come from an abusive background, get some help. Go into therapy. Go into see a psychiatrist and a therapist. See a psychiatrist every month and see a therapist twice a week, because we cannot bring kids into this world when we are suffering and pain. You know, because kids can see that. Kids don't care. Kids don't care I was abused. You know, they was running up and down the projects. They could care less that I'm drinking my life away. You know, so kids just don't care. I mean, that's just the way they are. They just don't care. And if you can't take the pain that a child is going to bring you, especially if you didn't get help for the pain that you carry, that can literally take you out of here like it almost did me.
Wow, now that is found.
So
that is profound. Go ahead.
I wouldn't have slept with those men, because when I think about those three men today, I would never open up my legs to sleep with trash like that. You know, so the outcome of sleeping with trash, of sleeping with people that's beneath you, when you're going places, when you have a purpose, when you carry greatness, and you lie down with people that's going nowhere, what is the outcome, Dennis?
Well, we already know the outcome, honey. You lie down with dogs, you're going to get fleas, honey.
So I've made my mistakes, and because I've made those mistakes, I had to suffer for them. I don't want nobody to have to suffer like I did, because I almost didn't make it. My life was slipping away last year. When I took those pills and I drank that liquor, I was like, oh, I'm really leaving here now. This time I done did it. I'm leaving here. But God said, oh, no, she thinks she's dying. She thinks she's going to be here. What is this, February 19th, talking on the LGBT show.
Okay. And see, your story, like the caller said, you have it's not unusual to come from that, because a lot of LGBT kids, honey, end up having that same story coming out of abuse. Or if there wasn't abuse in the home, because of them being LGBT, they got rejected and found that kind of abuse out in the world, out in society or whatever, as they're trying to shape and mold themselves and to take care of themselves. And, you know, they've learned behavior, what I like to call survival techniques, because I won't necessarily call it bad behavior. I'll just call it survival, you know, because you do what you need to do to get over. You know, and most of the time it's just that, it's a get over. A lot of times we do what we do to cope. You know, your drug of choice was alcohol. Mine was sex. Other folks some folks get into shopping, you know, spending money that you know you don't have, which ends up going one hand in hand. Addiction breeds other addictions, because mine was sex and food and shopping. You know, I would end up, when I got pissed or whatever, or felt as though I was losing my mind, you know, and I had money in my pocket, I would go spend it knowing that, you know, something else needed to be done. Now, I was thankful that I didn't get crazy to where I put myself in jeopardy by not paying all of my bills. I wouldn't pay the lights or the gas, but the rent was paid and this, that, and the other. But we would go, and knowing that I had something to do, I would go do other things with that money. Or, you know, going against my credit. My credit score is fucked because I had a child found a credit card, honey. They gave me a credit card. The bitch went shopping because I could say charge it. I'm glad nobody gave me a credit card yet. Okay, because I could say charge it. Well, see, this is when I was young. I can't get I don't have a full credit card now. Right. But because of the choices that were then, you know, everything has a harvest time. You plant those seeds, it's going to have a harvest time. Yes, and definitely. when when you reap that harvest, a lot of times folks don't know how to retoil the soil to plant new seeds for a better harvest. What we end up doing is replanting the seeds from the old harvest and get the same kind of crop.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that there is where we are in a lot of all of this. So, you know, coming from those kinds of beginnings and understanding that, yeah, your story is very forthcoming, because a lot of people end up in that kind of situation, particularly those coming out of physical abuse, you know, where we come from the whole idea of, you know, but I can't be mad at you, or I don't know how to be mad at you because I still love you as my parents. See, coming from that, when I said that to my father, I was like, you know, that's the one thing, if I'm mad about the most, I can't even hate you, because I love you enough to know that without you, there is no motherfucking me.
That's right.
And I got mad at God for that, because I couldn't put no blame on it. You know, there was nothing to blame. It was like, why am I here? You such and such, and you didn't do what you didn't do. And the thing of it is that I'm the one who understands why you didn't. And because I understand it and can process it, I can't even hate you for it. I can't even point fingers at you. And I was upset at God with that for a long time. But when I learned how to release it and was like, you know what, it's not doing me any good here, because I'm at this stage now. You know, I can't, what he didn't do then, or what he did do, or whatever the case may be then, doesn't take care of it now. Because he ain't doing it now either. So, shit, what? Okay, so now what? You know, now that I can do, and this, that, and the other, that is what the catapult was for me. So now that you're here, and now that you are this author, and you're becoming this entrepreneur to where you're building your business as an author, as a poet, you know, you're doing your singing and carrying on. You have a book signing coming up on the 24th. You know, what is that? What is it? What is the main message of your story that when you're selling your books, what is it that you want people to really get? If you were to sum it up and say, my work is the embodiment of, bam.
Okay, I would say my work is the embodiment of inspiration, motivation, empowering men and women, adoption abuse, targeting depression, people with low self-esteem, people that have been rejected, abandoned over and over in life. Basically, that is, my books has been specifically written for people that fall in that category. And it's not, my books are not just for the broken, the depressed, the abused, the addict, the alcoholic. It's also for people that can't seem to find their purpose in this life. Some people 40 years old and they still don't know why they're here, why they was born. So some of the books I write, while they're reading it, they're going to tap into the things that make them tick. Like, what excites you? What you can't live without? What can you, if you stop doing this, how would you feel? So basically, you're finding yourself in my literature. You're loving yourself in my literature. Whether you're going through abuse or not, you still can gain something positive from reading my books. You can gain strength. If you're not courageous, you can gain courage, because you will say, wow, if she did this, now I know I can do this.
Right, dig it.
You know, and another thing, I would say my books will allow people to not just stay as being a teacher. Be a preacher. Go beyond that. Be a priest. Go beyond that. Cut a record. Go beyond. I mean, sometimes we're so comfortable with sticking with just one gift. Some of us haven't tapped into the other things that we can do in this life for people, because we are in a time where we are in God made a perfect world, but we know that the people in the world are not perfect.
Right.
So we're living around wickedness. So that's why I write these kind of books, because we talented as we are, we have to survive living around wicked people, jealous people, people that will try to take everything you have. If they can't take your kids, they're going to take your money. If they can't take your money, they want to stop the show. But the show must go on, especially if you have determination. So, yes, my books is about determination, a will to survive. Dig deep within yourself and say, God, why am I here? Instead of saying, oh, God, why you let me go through this? God, why I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
What's your purpose? Why was I born? Because I'm telling you, Dennis, we all were here for a reason. Because obviously you have your own show. You may not have known when you was 15 years old that you would have a blog talk radio show.
Right.
You're at 15 years old, you probably said you was going to be a firefighter. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just
right.
saying the books just go, every book can help somebody. 40 Ways to Please a Good Man, 40 Ways to Please a Good Woman, spice up relationships. Take that broken relationship and make it spicy. A woman start reading my book, and when her husband come home, she starts doing what she saw in that book. You know how happy he would be?
Okay. Aha. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So all my books that I write, people all ages can grasp something positive. None of my books have profanity. I just wanted to put that out there, so that's why I said it's for all ages.
Mm-hmm.
There's no profanity in none of my books. So, it's a book for everybody. So it's 13 now. Remember that, right? And
right, okay, a baker's dozen. Okay, a baker's dozen.
I'm going to see if I can get to 1 million. Oh, my God, that's a lot of writing. That means I'll never be sleeping.
Okay. Well, hold on. We got someone that want to come in. Hey, caller, you're on the air. I don't know what number you're calling from because you got all ones across the board. So you're an anonymous number. Caller?
Am I anonymous?
Yes, you are.
How are you?
All of the above and beyond. Okay, who's ringing?
I don't know.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that over?
Yeah, that's okay. Do you have a question?
He said, is that over?
I don't know if I have a question. Yeah, I want to meet this woman.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
You'll have to give her my number.
The floor is yours.
Huh?
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Yes, I say you'll have to give her my number.
Okay.
I did get your message the other day, but I've been busy at the hospital, as you know.
Uh-huh.
We've turned over a new leaf, and we have a new president. And well, that's not on this topic, though. I don't know what to say on this topic. I'm thrown off. Oh.
So why do you? So what is your interest in me? As far as why do you want me to have your number? What is your interest? Is it interest relating to what I stand for? Is it a personal interest? What interest
Probably
you have?
A little bit of all of it. I mean, your story is not unusual to me. I have heard the story many, many times by being a healthcare professional.
Okay.
And I've also dealt with it physically, in having to take evidence and all of that kind of thing. But it's just something. Oh. I was on two minds whether to even cut in because, when you're at a crossroads, you really don't know what to say.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I understand clearly what you're talking about because I've dealt with this, like I said, many times. I used to be a rape counselor and everything.
Okay.
I've never heard of you nor your books.
Okay.
And I don't know if we're getting a full picture or we'll be able to get a full picture on this show. That's the reason that I wanted Demetrius to give you my number. He knows exactly who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
because you're hitting on some things that could be of help to me with patience, as well as, makes me think a little bit. But my childhood was actually wonderful. That my mess didn't start until after I got 25.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so yours started at 25 and she found hers. She found her strength or whatever at 25. So interesting.
Yes,
right.
That's when my problem started. Whew.
Have you listened to the show from the beginning, or you just called in?
Oh, yes, I've listened from the beginning today. Usually I'm late, but I did hear it from the very beginning.
Oh, wow.
And
you got to
I
hear
was
some
just
stuff.
intrigued with your story. I really was.
Thank you.
Wow.
You mentioned that we're both single, and,
Lord have mercy. Okay, did you know what?
You might be the one that he sends me to. I don't know.
Have mercy. Lord,
how old are you? You don't want me to break your back. You know how old I am?
Oh, there we go now. See?
I'm a strong 40, solid 200 pounds.
See, I'm older than you are, believe me.
I know you are older than me. How old is what I'm trying to find out?
Oh, I'm 54.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Mitra have a birthday a week apart from each other, so I'll be...
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Happy upcoming
right.
birthday.
Have
Where are you
mercy,
calling
Jesus.
from?
I'm calling from Michigan.
Oh, okay. I'm in New York.
Oh, long-distance relationships can be the best. Especially...
I don't like long-distance relationships.
I don't like them either. That's why I say they can be the best, because they actually become short-term after a while once you...
Have mercy. Child, you know what? Now, we're going to start you off with 40 ways to please a good woman. That's going to be your first book. I already know that. Okay? That's going to be your first book. I've done that. I've also been a single parent, as you know, and come to a lot of the difficulties of that, being a single parent and being a professional. And, oh, God. We could probably talk forever. You could write a book just from one of our conversations. Okay, Lord have mercy. Well, listen, thank you for calling in. Stand by, because I got 914 want to come up in here. 914-294. 914-294. You're dishing tea with Big Meat. How can I help you today? And say hello to Elijah. I'm sorry, Alicia. I said Elijah, child. That you know him out. Elijah Rock, shout.
That phone number sounds familiar. I may know that person. 914, I believe, is Yonkers.
Hello.
Sister Ruth?
Yes.
Hi.
Sister, how are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you for listening. Wow, this is a surprise.
Thank you to endeavor. Sister Amanda was listening too, but she's at work, so she had some other work to go and finish up. But I'm so happy for you, and God bless you, and hope you continue writing books. And, we know your story, girl. We know your story. Just keep writing your books, and let God just bless you in every way He can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you.
Okay.
All
keep
right.
your
Well,
eyes
thank
on the
you.
prize.
Huh?
Okay. God bless.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, all right. Well, that's wonderful words of encouragement and support right there. So, we're going to go here. I want you to give everyone all of your social medias and carrying on, and so that they can find out how to contact you, how to find your books, and then also how to log into the show, because next Saturday, the 1st of March, you're going to be airing. So give everybody your information.
Okay, yes, I will be resuming the Stay Strong and Stand show, and that will be March 1st every evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., and it's targeting overcoming depression, abuse, addictions, and suicide. I'm very excited. It's going to be a powerful show every evening. I mean, it's going to be I just cannot wait to see what God is going to do in me and through me for other people, you know. And Dennis, I better hear you. I better see your number. I mean, I better see. I want to hear your voice on my show because you're awesome. Like, wow. Like,
bless
you have the energy. No, you have the energy to do a 2-hour show like I do. Like, there's so much to talk about that we can't say in 2 hours.
I know. See, this is why it becomes compartmental. And then, you know, when you're dealing with speaking to the masses on motivation and carrying on, everything becomes a subtopic of a topic because we're dealing with I use the puzzle analogy now because, you know, a lot of times when we come from the church, a lot of churches say that you come in and you're broken, and no, we're not broken. We're just in pieces like a puzzle. When you go buy a puzzle, the puzzle says that it has 500 pieces. It has 1,000 pieces. It's not broken. It's just in pieces, and you got to put it together. So everything that you need is right there. Okay, and when we're dealing with other people and motivating them, what happens a lot of times is just like that puzzle. When you're doing the puzzle, you run into all these pieces, that's that damn border. And, you know, it all looks the same. And you wonder, how come all the green pieces and all the blue pieces look the same? But you got to put each piece together because, as you know, with the puzzle, if you got a piece missing, the picture is incomplete. And then all of that background is necessary to make the picture complete.
That's right.
All of that is necessary. So even though it seems insignificant or it seems like it has no point, it becomes significant to the grander scope of everything. So when we're dealing with these kinds of things, we could talk for hours and hours on end, and sometimes it sounds like we're repeating ourselves because it's that background foundation that's needed to paint the picture.
Yes, because some things need to be said a couple of times because sometimes it depends on what level your human brain is functioning because sometimes people need to hear it 3 or 4 times. Oh, I got it now. Oh, I got it.
Exactly. And then, too, sometimes they need to hear it from somebody else because, you know, sometimes, you know, the messages, when we're dealing with folks like a T.D. Jakes or Creflo Dollar or Iyanla Van Zandt or Deepak Chopra and all these different people, you know, a lot of them are saying the same things. It's just that sometimes it's the delivery. You may not hear it from Creflo the way you hear it from T.D. Or you may not hear it from T.D. the way you're going to hear it from Iyanla. You know, but the root of the message is still the same. Love is still the root. It's just that sometimes you may not be in a place to receive it from this particular person or that person because our spirits may not identify yet, you know, because of the levels that we're on and how everything comes together. So, yes, the message sometimes has to be repeated over and over in order for folks to hear it.
Yes, because, you know, it's a grasping thing.
Right.
You know, sometimes I read All I Can Do Is Stand over and over again because every time I read that book, I get a different message. Just from the first page of the book. I know, you know, we pressed for time, but I really wanted to just read that first page.
Take it. You got it.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to open up my book, All I Can Do Is Stand, because I like to let people know that it's just not another abuse book. This is a short story, true story, motivational book of how I've been standing. So I don't want anyone, I just want to clear the air with that. I don't want anyone to think when they read my book, they're going to start crying. No, I don't write my books for anyone to cry. So with that said, this is chapter 1, and I'm just going to read a page. The book starts off like this. It's quite funny how through the years, along with the tears, that we still stand. When I say funny, I really mean that it's a joy, smile for you and me. The enemy who thought had you can see with their own eyes that you are still standing. How did we manage to stand through so many trials and tribulations of this life? Many of us say that there is no God or higher power or whatever you choose to say. What makes us stand? How do you stand? Where do you stand? Where do we all stand? For me, it's a well-given fact that there is someone greater than I that has been keeping me standing. What I'm trying to say is that only someone bigger, greater, higher than me can allow Aleja to still stand. I'm grateful today for being alive, able to share this message of hope and encouragement for you all to still stand. We often need to hear it from the horse's mouth, as they say, for us to get a clearer picture. And that's the first page.
Okay.
Is Stand, available on Kindle, Amazon, paperback, bookstores, online bookstores, libraries. If you don't have money to purchase the book, email me. If you're depressed, you're hurting, you need some strength, email me. I'll get the book to you. It's not about money. It's about the message. Aleja, there's a problem with my website. I want to say that while it's like on my mind right now. Aleja1.com. I'm having some technical difficulties with that, so that should be up and running within the next few days. It's going to be back on. So it's not, I know people are going to the site. My publicist said, Aleja, where's Aleja1.com? And I was like, okay, I'm having a little technical difficulties. So basically when people put donations on my site, that helps me mail books to people, because kids, like the guy that was just on the show, that was on the caller that was online, he counsels people that I need to talk to. I need to reach these people. You see, my mission is to reach the broken, the homeless, the one. I want to reach the one that nobody wants. I want to reach the one that's been ejected and not wanted in life. That's the ones I want to reach. Because when you go through so much, those are the ones that have so much purpose. I mean, I listen to you, Dennis. I listen to how you speak. You remind me so much of me. It's so much to say to empower this hurting nation. It's so much for us to say.
Oh yeah, and the guise is that, like I said earlier, a lot of us don't want to suffer the pain. They don't want to go through the pain because hell, it hurts, and hurt people hurt people.
So true.
Okay, so.
Say that one more time, because I don't think somebody grasped that.
Okay, hurt people hurt people.
That's right.
And and it becomes a never-ending cycle because in us not wanting to experience the hurt, we end up self-medicating in whatever form that is. And it's the self-medication that ends up having what I like to say, the oppressed becoming the oppressor. Because, see, now that you've masked your pain, now you start to project that pain and make it somebody else hurt.
Yes.
That's right. So that there is where where it all comes down. I've just been given my 60-second mark. So for those of you who are listening by a computer, we're going to stop streaming in less than 60 seconds. So whatever you miss, you can always come back into the archives and pick this up. I'm going to have Aleja give her email address and carrying on one more time before we go. And you can find out all of that. Like I said, if you missed it, you'll find it in the archives. Just click back on. Share this with other people because, like we said, her story, it may not be unique in the way that we know people in this, but this is her story, and to hear how she's able to pull herself up out of that turmoil, and to know that it was just a year ago, less than a year ago, that she was battling with wanting to leave this planet, that somebody needs to hear that and know that they could come out of that. So I thank you. Join us next week. Angie Stone is going to be with us next week. Wow. So that's for those of you who are leaving now. and we just went into the overdraft recording. So what I want you to do, again, is give everybody your Facebooks, your Twitters, and all of that, so people can find where you are, and so that people can inspire the book. Let them know where you're going to be on the 24th for your book signing, all of that.
Okay. Every last Monday in the month from February 24th to the end of August, I will be having a book signing at the Richmond Hill Library. I'm having so many because of the book, so I'm going to have to do at least 1 or 2 book signings a month. I mean, a book signing once a month for 1 or 2 books a month. So the location is the Richmond Hill Library, 118-14 Hillside Avenue in Richmond Hill, New York, which is the borough of Queens. So if you're not in the New York area, you can find me on Twitter. My Twitter is bestbooks2. Bestbooks2 read. Okay, that is my Twitter. My tweets are tweeted every 2-3 minutes, and I'm not tweeting it, but that's just how it is. So you'll always get a tweet from me every 2 to 3 minutes about inspiration, motivation, about my new book that's being released probably right now as we're speaking on paperback. I'm so excited. My Facebook fan page is Stay Strong and Stand. Stay Strong and Stand. It says Aleja O'Baden, but that's me, Aleja Bennett. That's another story. Email me. Email me, AlejaPoet@AOL.com. The website, I'm having technical difficulties. That is my website, AlejaNumber1.com. It should be up and running shortly, but that is the website. You can reach me at the Stay Strong and Stand. And my show, please listen in. This is going to be fabulous. Dennis is going to be on there as well. The Stay Strong and Stand show is resuming. I took a break, and it was we had some great shows. I don't know if you saw the archives, Dennis, but I've had some great shows. And I've had a lot of authors on my show and abuse survivors on my show, so it was awesome. So I'm coming back March 1st, every evening, 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, the Stay Strong and Stand show on Blog Talk Radio. And Dennis, I want to thank you for inviting me to your show. It's been a pleasure listening to you, speaking to you. I mean, you're just awesome, and I thank you.
Oh, bless you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, and thank you for coming, because one of the things about getting into the heart of people is that it is when we speak from a place of truth and authenticity that we reach other people. So each one reach one, then teach one to be
That's
one.
Right.
Ha!
That's right.
Okay, that's cute.
You invited me on your show as a guest, but by listening to you speak, I received the word. I received some knowledge. I received some strength. Because, when you're giving strength, you need the fuel. You need someone giving you some strength back that you pushing out every day. Sometimes I get weak because I'm giving all of me, and no one says, Aleja, here, let me give you something.
That's called the depletion, honey. Every now and again, we got to go to the gas station and fuel up. The car ain't going to run without the gas, baby.
That's right.
The car don't run. Right. Girl, it will lead. You try it, honey. Get in the car and think you going somewhere and you ain't got no gas and it won't turn over. And if it does, you're going to blow the engine. Try it. It'll leave your ass stranded right where you are.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to listen to this show. I guess everyone knows that it will be, it's recorded, so we should be able to download and listen to it shortly.
In about 30 minutes. As soon as we hang up, it will be available in about 30 minutes or less, as a matter of fact, because, it'll be ready 15 to 30 minutes right after we hang up. So it'll be ready, and you can post it everywhere. You can download it. You can share it. You can create your own sound bites or whatever that you need. So all of that is available to you. And, honey, girl, please. Yeah.
There was a lot of people that wanted to listen to the show that's working. So you're going to get a lot of listeners later on. A lot of people want to hear this show And I believe that this show was just fantastic. I mean, it was really fantastic. You are a great host. I got to give you that.
Oh, well, thank you, sweetie.
Okay, you made me feel very comfortable because my publicist, I love you, publicist, Marilyn. Well, I'll get their name.
Okay, Miss Mary, honey. Okay. Okay, so much more communications. Hey, girl.
But she said that you were perky. You know, she gave you a very good presentation. So that right there, presentation is everything, I might say. And by her saying that made me feel comfortable to be on your show, like I was ready. Because I was like, Perky, oh, he's good. He's energetic. He's good. We're going to have a good show.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did. I mean, this was great. Like you're getting me amped up now for March 1st. So, I'm ready now. Now I'm ready. I wish the show was tonight.
Okay, right. Well, come on. Yeah, because baby, look, I say this, and I'm going to leave you with this. Everyone who is still on this side of creation has a voice that must be heard. Now, the message can be debatable, and we may not agree with each other's message, but everyone's voice needs to be heard.
That's right.
And everyone has that right to be heard. And it's going to reach those who it needs to reach. It will challenge those who it needs to challenge. And if your message is not for me, trust me, because I heard it, it's going to sit somewhere. Because if it's not directly for me, it's for me to pass on to somebody else. Maybe it's for me to start a discussion over here. It's to start a discussion over there. It's to internalize somewhere. But trust you me, everybody's voice is heard. So this platform here with Blog Talk Radio, you coming back on board and having taken a little vacation to clear your mind and to regroup, to come on back in, to come in refreshed and replenished so that you can have more to give to other people. That there is what's needed. So, honey, come on back into the fold, baby, because it sets up your platform. It sets you up. So come on back. Come on. Okay.
Yes, I'm glad to be back. Yeah, I had to take a break, because I can't help people if I still need help.
And understanding that, all of us, see, here's the ticket. All of us still need help because all of us are works in progress.
Oh,
here's the ticket.
I still have some open wounds now. Yes.
Here's the ticket. As you learn, then you teach what you've learned. That's the kick. It's just like going through school. As we went through the first grade, when we got to the second grade, we're still learning. But when you were at home, you taught your younger brothers and sisters or whatever what you learned from the first grade because that's what you knew. That's what you learned. That's what you perfected. So when you learned that, you taught that to them. You learned something else, then you taught that lesson too as you were still learning. As always, as this is one that I'm taking with me because I know this and I knew it, but sometimes because we get caught up in being intelligent and carrying on, you forget. Once you become a teacher, it is one thing to be a teacher. I'm a teacher, yes, but I am forever a student.
That's right.
I am a teacher.
That's right.
But I am always a student.
That's right. That's right. And that's the reason why I went into ministry school, because I started studying the Word of God, and I got so intrigued by it. And I know God wasn't just calling me into the ministry of singing, because my voice brings on healing. Oh, you see, I didn't even have time to sing a song for you, but that's the next show. You got to call me back, okay? But,
Okay. Okay.
He said, okay. But anyway, I wanted to just further my knowledge. And that's wonderful what you said, because I feel the same way. We don't know it all. Every day I learn something new. I love learning. I love knowing. I want to know. I want you to share with me things that I don't know, things that can make my show better. If you have advice, I love advice. I love criticism. That's when you know that you have grown. That's when you can say you're an adult. You know what I'm saying?
Ha. Now, how about that one? Okay.
Yes, when you can say, I'm controlling, I have control issues, that's when you know you have grown up and you are an adult.
Yeah, because you put your big boy panties on, honey. And you're able to face it. You know, it doesn't work until you live in your truth. And see, being over 40, see, you just hit 40 and finna go into 41. Let me explain that to you, sweetie, because my brother didn't make it. I think that's one of the reasons why his birthday was so hard on me, because I was so looking forward to him turning 40 last October, and he didn't make it. Wow. But turning 40 is as if life opens up for you, because you have nothing to prove to no one anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everything is as if it is just brand new all over again. And you see life from a brand new vantage point. You see life, you know, with the maturity that it requires to navigate through it. And at this particular stage of the game, honey, it's like, okay, you know what? Yes. Yes, and I welcome it. I welcome it. And now that you're crossing over and about to be 41, then it starts into the challenges. Okay, now what I thought I knew, now it's going to get ruffled, because it doesn't mean the same anymore. You're at a whole new level of life, so everything is about to be challenged. You know, you may feel stupid at times or whatever, because it doesn't mean the same anymore. And that there is the next wave of life that's going to be the challenge. A lot of folks talk about that whole midlife crisis thing or whatever. It's not a midlife crisis per se. What you're doing is all of those things that you couldn't speak before, the childhood that I never had or whatever, I have to get connected to that child again and learn how to have fun, learn how to enjoy life from this vantage point. And that's where the challenge is, because life is still lovely. Life is still lovely. And one of the things I tell folks in my book is that once you make time your friend, you have all the time in the world, because the second that you make it your enemy by saying, oh, I'm in a race against time, oh, I got to beat the clock, oh, I got to catch up on time, the second you make time an enemy like that, you never have enough of it, and you always are in a battle with it. But when you embrace time and make time your friend, you and time become one, and you have all the time you need.
That's right. Amen. That's right.
So on that note, my sweetheart, I'm going to let you get back to your day, and I'm going to wish you well, and we will talk again, honey, on March 1st, because my birthday celebration starts on the 28th of February. And so that's birthdays. That's the birthday kickoff. I go to April 2nd. If I had made it to Florida, it was going to be to April 7th. But there still may be a possibility I can go. But like I said, that would be a miracle and a half, and we'll see what God has for that. However, the celebration starts then. So March 1st, honey, we'll be enthralled in celebrating my 44th. So I'll call.
That's right. So, I got to get my voice in gear, make sure I'm teed up.
Okay, you got peppermint tea. Go get you some throat coat tea. I swear by that. Throat coat. I use the traditional medicines brand, but get you some throat coat tea.
Throat coat, where can I get that? Is that in the
You can get that, honey. You right there in New York. You know they got health food stores everywhere. But you can go to your local supermarket where they have the health food section. Everybody got that now, the health food section, over there by the pharmacy and carrying on. And get it's a little box called throat coat. Or if now it's called throat coat by traditional medicines, it may be throat something else in other brands. But it's the same thing. It's gonna have the slippery elm and the licorice root and a couple other things up in there. But throat coat tea, honey, get that, child. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Oh wow. Okay. What does that do for your body? Is it just for the throat?
All of the properties of it in there concentrate specifically on the throat, but it also is a flushing agent to where it's going to flush your system, because the tea does that. So it's going to flush your system, and it's going to sit down and soothe all of that in your throat, your esophagus, all of your breathing air and carrying on. And so you're doing the peppermint tea as well. So the peppermint oil is going to help to inspirate your lungs and carrying on so that you can breathe better and all of that. So, child, you'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Spell that out. Can you write that out on the chat so I can write it down?
Okay, okay. Gotcha, darling.
throat coat tea. I'd use the Traditional Medicines brand.
Okay, so that would be THROATCO. Throat coat tea.
And there you have it.
I like to shop online, so if I can get it online, that would be good.
Oh, yeah. Child, please Google it. You'll find it. Yeah, trust, honey, trust. Yeah. In fact, you may even find it cheaper because you probably get it in bulk.
Oh, that would be good. Okay. Yeah, because I'm constantly in a fight with my throat. Like I'm always, or, you know, like
oh,
that.
Yeah. Now with that. Because that means you got to strip it. So, see, now here's what you do. To get you some warm water and get you a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, some red pepper, and some black pepper. Just do a teaspoon of each. Mix that and gargle with that. That's going to strip all that mucus and strip all of that from your throat. And then back it up with then after you do that, then drink the tea. You should be fine.
Type that in the chat too for me. I'm writing it down.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I have two more shows to do today. I have one at 5 and one at 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But if you got this now, you can sit up here and do this now. Yeah,
I think the things that you mentioned, I have it. I just want you to run it by me one more time in the chat so I can write it.
Yeah, and so that and that way, and red pepper and gargle. Yep, just gargle. I learned this from Stephanie Mills, honey. She used to do this a long time ago. Stephanie Mills, the singer Stephanie Mills. This was her gargle, honey. She used to do that. She said she doesn't do this anymore because she said she doesn't have her tonsils anymore. But this was what she did, honey. Yeah, she said that on Joan Rivers back in 1986, 87, somewhere up in there. And I've been doing this ever since. But yeah, to strip all of that, yeah, you need to strip it away, and then get you the tea, because you got the peppermint tea right now, and that's going to help soothe everything and to coat it and love it and love on it and all that. Or if you have some lemon juice, take some warm water like you would make it for tea, and just put lemon juice in it. No tea or nothing, just lemon juice, because what we have found is that the honey and lemon that is so common with tea, it defeats the purpose a lot of times. It doesn't do. It's either one or the other. Either you're going to use the honey and hot water, or the lemon and hot water, and then let that sit down and do what it's going to do. But yeah, so if you don't have the tea, do the warm water and lemon, and let that coat and soothe it. So that
Yes,
but yeah, this gargle here will help to. Huh?
I said Stephanie Mills. That's one of my favorite artists.
Honey, that's my little sister, my big little sister.
She was brought up in one of the churches that I fellowshipped with. She was brought up in the the Cornerstone Baptist Church in Bed-Stuy,
the Cornerstone
Brooklyn.
Baptist. That's right. Dr. Sandy F. Ray was pastor. Yes.
And
at the time she was there.
Sandy F. Ray was really close with my pastor that passed away. My pastor, he passed away in 1994, right before I got married. And he was his name was Reverend Dr. Nathan R. Turner, and him and Cornerstone Baptist Church, they were so close that when my pastor died, he didn't have his funeral at Victory. He had his funeral at Cornerstone because that church is huge. It was more huge than our church was.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so, wow, when you said Stephanie Mills, wow, yeah, she has an awesome voice.
That's my sister.
Her voice is awesome.
Yes, baby. Now, we could go on and on.
I know.
But you get yourself together because it's already 3:20. You got an appointment at 5. So rest up, take all this in, get yourself acclimated for your next one, and then we will talk again soon. Thank you to Mary and to all of my audience out there. I thank you guys for coming on in. If you love me, tell a friend, honey. If you hate me, tell an enemy. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, what this thing is doing is going forward. You may finish all of your crumpets, honey, because the tea has been dished, and you've been dishing tea, darlings. Ha-ha! With Big Meech. Until next time, my babies, honey, next week, join us. We got Angie Stone coming in next week, the R&B diva herself. So I would gladly wish you to come on in and join us on next week. And then I will officially kick off my birthday celebration on the air next week. Ha-ha. And we'll go from there. So until then, my darlings, you guys, honey, do what it is that you do to stay happy. Just do it responsibly so you can do it all again the next time. And I will talk with you again very, very soon. Kisses, loves, hugs.
Bye-bye.
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Oh, what a great audience. Let's dim the lights for this next one. Nope, too much. There it is. Gotta get things just right. Like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Tell us what you want to pay, and we help you find coverage options that fit your budget. And now, the mood is right. Wait, the lights are back on again. Trudy, can you? And now it's completely dark.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.